I'm so excited to share this information with you today, kind of a behind the scenes, pull the curtain back, glimpse into the Self-Employed Business Institute. So what I'm going to share with you is the student dashboard. Now, honestly, it never really occurred to me to share this publicly because it is designed specifically for the students. But I had a call yesterday with a prospective student who wanted to see a little bit more, and I shared this with him. And while I was sharing with him, I realized how awesome the program is. I was pretty proud of that. But also, I thought it could give you a really tangible understanding of what we cover, why we cover it, and how it can change your business. All right. So let's get right into it, and I will share this. Okay, so we start at the top of the dashboard with, as you'd expect, a brief explanation and all the quick links, right, to schedule one-to-one calls, go to the community. We have an awesome community on Mighty Network, so this links you directly to that. To attend your training calls, to attend your one-to-one calls, all the quick links are there, as well as to download the workbook. Now, we start off with 5 short videos that we provide to students before we begin. This is the only pre-recorded content. Everything in the Self-Employed Business Institute is live and in real time, and that's how I love to teach and interact with people. I'm a very hands-on, I like to do it live kind of guy, but we start off with 5 videos that we ask students to listen to before we begin, because it's prep information. Ask you some really good questions too. Like my favorite question is, if you don't get everything out of this program, what might be the reason why? The reason I ask that is because all of us have done many other things, and sometimes we don't get the value we want, but we don't ask ourselves, what role do I play in that, in not getting the value? So we challenge our students to make sure they get exceptional value from their experience. So we invite the challenge, like what might be the reasons you don't get full value? Is it because you don't show up all the time? Is it because you get distracted? It's probably a pattern that you've seen, and we want to make sure we break that pattern so that you get exceptional value out of the program. All right, so 5 quick videos, and now we get into the actual course itself, which is broken up into modules by themes, but not by phone call. Okay, so the first month is the personal development month. So first training call, we focus on the starting point. And what we help you do is, first, we want you to have a deep understanding of the self-employed ecosystem. It's what I teach in my book. The self-employed ecosystem consists of 3 big buckets, you can say: personal development, business strategies, and daily habits and mindsets. The truth of the matter is, when you're self-employed, and because there's such an integration between who you are as a person and your success and your business, that an ecosystem, a healthy ecosystem, is important. And what we want to look at is, where are you less healthy in any one of those 3 areas? Because as is true in an ecosystem in nature, if one thing is off, it can kill the whole thing, or at least what I can guarantee, when something's off in your ecosystem, you're working harder than you need to. And we don't want to be doing that. We also focus on, what is it that you want to let go of? This to me is the heart of motivation, right? Motivation to me is not a dangling carrot. It's not just the goal you want to reach. What I help students do first is to get very clear on the change they want, what they want to get away from. Because when you're clear on what you don't want in your business and life anymore, you are far more motivated to change it to get what you do want. So we focus on that. The second call of the first month, now we start thinking more forward thinking, right? Now we're moving forward. Now we're going to talk about your intentions, your vision, your goals. We're going to, but in different ways than you've ever heard, right? Because I like tangible results. So it's not just intentions like, what do I want? I teach you a format, what I call the from to format. What is it you want to go from? What is it you want to go to? So that you're setting your intentions with clear direction from to. Same thing with vision, very tangible. We're going to set up your daily habits. We set our students up with 15 to 17 minutes of daily habits a day that are proven scientific ways of getting not just results, but also manifesting inward flow and creating more of a sustainable mindset so we can weather the ups and downs of being self-employed. Next module is the HUG marketing system. Now, this is the meat of the whole course. It takes us 2 months to go through this because we go through it step by step, not only covering the concepts and strategies, but also building the assets. Okay. So for example, the hug marketing system, which is a series of concentric circles, we need to take, lurkers to being curious, curious into engaged, engaged into connected, connected into clients, and clients ultimately becoming clients that we would want to hug if we saw them in person. But each of those strategic steps takes actual effort and assets. Lead magnets, for example, creating content to get published in magazines. I can give you the insights as to how to get published. But we want to build out, your social media, great tips on email marketing that actually work. All right. So that's why in the hug marketing system, it takes us 2 months because we cover every step and build out the actual assets that you need. The big goal of the hug marketing system is so that you have a repeatable and consistent marketing system that will create predictable results for you. Okay, repeatable and consistent system to create predictable results. And that, my friends, is what we all want in business, is predictable results, especially in unpredictable times and unpredictable world. It takes a system to accomplish that. Then we go into brand messaging. This, of course, is one of my core strengths because of my book, Lingo. The story behind Lingo, of course, is that how I became, a photographer from lower middle class upbringing to becoming, the go-to photographer for affluent families. Why I took the time to understand the lingo, to really understand what made them tick, what emotionally moved them. So brand messaging, obviously, to me, is critically important and one of the biggest blind spots that you ever come across, because what you think you're saying and how you think you're coming across is more than likely not the way it's being interpreted. And I know this because I've reviewed thousands of websites, and I can tell you 98% of them, what's being said on the website isn't actually what the person intends to say or what should be saying for their greatest benefit. So we fix that. I personally go through every single student's website and figure out what do we need to do to fix it, to close the gap between what you think you're saying and what you're actually saying. So we work on, your core message, how your core message, what's deep inside of you and what you're fighting for, how that translates into a marketable brand message, and how we get that brand message out there speaking the lingo of your ideal clients so that the result is you're only working with your ideal clients. We even go down to the specifics of the emotional journey map, which I teach in the form of a website, like how to lay out a website, but honestly, it's applicable to almost any content you're putting out there. How you bring your audience, be it a website or content, how you bring them on an emotional journey to go from what I refer to as compelling to contact. How do you go from compelling them, keeping their attention, to actually having them contact you? And that's the emotional journey. From there, we go into the business model of multiples. This is, now we're getting into the more logic. We're going to lay out your business model as far as a structure. I refer to it as levers, not income streams, because our students tend to be impact driven more than income driven. What I mean by that is they are doing what's most important in their heart and how they want to change the world and the impact they want to make. And the reason this is critical for an impact driven business when you're self-employed is because that's, traditional businesses focus on income. And if you're focused on just on your income streams, you're going to make decisions on what's making money or what's not making money. What I prefer to do is to focus on the impact so that you're making decisions on the actions you're taking and how they're going to have the greatest impact, which in that moment may not actually be your greatest income reward. So we focus on impact and give you the control of various levers so you know what to pull up, what to pull down, what to push up, so that you're getting, so that you're evening out your business. Very important, by the way, in unpredictable times, because sometimes some levers just get yanked down. Like in 2020, when all of us speakers suddenly didn't have any speaking gigs, right? That lever just gets yanked down. But when you have a business model of multiples, you look at it as levers, you can decide what lever do you want to yank up. So we cover that. We go into how to create your services, your pricing for profitability, and also how you can create what I refer to as a product or service suite, so that everything you do is connected, so that you're not doing the same thing over and over again. So your clients have a suite, a journey they can go on to engage with your services. We finish up with very tangible things like promotional strategies, how to be an awesome podcast guest. Having been a host of a podcast for more than 8 years and over 800 episodes, I know a thing or two about this. So I want to teach our students how to be an awesome podcast guest, not just so that they come across well, but so that it's a smart strategy for promoting their business. And I can teach you that. We go into book launch strategy because so many of our students have or will be launching books. So we cover some of the best strategies on how to get a book out there in the world, as well as what are the back end services that you're building to support the book launch, which honestly, that's where you're going to make the money. We have a guest speaker or a workshop every month. Now, what we're looking at here is last cohort's dashboard. So these are the guest speakers from last cohort. We have different guest speakers every time. So each month there's a guest speaker or there's a workshop. I give the workshops, but I give a workshop specific to the needs of that cohort. I also share openly all the technology that we use, all the trainings that I do that might be helpful for our students, and many, many other additional resources that are available too. Now, this, of course, is what's trainable. This is what we accomplish in the 2 90-minute training calls each month. But each student is also working heavily with me one-to-one. We have a one-to-one call every month. We have twice monthly open coaching calls. I have one today at 1 o'clock where anybody who wants to can come. That's more coaching. In the Mighty Networks community, there's also direct messaging to me. So the hands-on activity, the one-to-one hands-on activity with the students is exceptional. And to me, it's an important part. And for our students, it's always the most valuable thing in the program to them. So that's important because, what's teachable can be taught in the training calls, but what needs to be pulled out of you needs to be done in the one-to-one coaching. So that's why it's such a beautiful blend. Now, what's really cool is in addition to what you get in the 5 months, we also have a whole roster of what we call alumni benefits. So as an alumni, once you've completed the 5-month program, you can continue to show up to all the live training calls in what we call a silent seat. So mic off, camera off, but you can take in all the information so you're always getting the latest, most relevant information on the training calls. You can also attend all the coaching break calls, all the open coaching calls, mic on and camera on, so that you're an active participant and get more information, more coach. So you can have coaching support one-to-one with me, or one to a few, I should say, for as long as you want. You can come to the open coaching calls. You're always a part of our community, and you're always invited to all the guest speakers and the workshops. And that's all the alumni benefit. Because what I'm out to build here is a community and a world of self-employed business owners, so that, when you're in the program, we're changing your business and your life, but afterwards you have all the support you could possibly want. Because, hey, let's face it, being self-employed can be a tad lonely sometimes. So we want to make sure you have all the support in a community that you can, not just for the 5 months, but always. Makes it a very interesting part of the program. So that's a bit about how it works. The next cohort, the fall cohort, starts next Wednesday already on the 14th of September. So if you're interested, go to selfemployedbusinessinstitute.com, selfemployedbusinessinstitute.com. Check it out. There's an application button there. Apply. All the applications come directly to me. I review everyone. And, it also gives me some information so I kind of know where you're at in your business to confirm that the Self-Employed Business Institute is a great fit for you. So again, you can go to selfemployedbusinessinstitute.com, apply. You can also direct message me in whatever platform you're listening to me on. You're welcome to contact me via DM. And the best thing to do, since we're so short of time starting in the week, is we'll hop on a quick Zoom call. I'll go over it with you again. I want to know more about your business. And, and see if it's a fit for you. But my goal today was to provide you with the behind the scenes, tangible things that we cover that I have never revealed publicly before, because it's something I've always just, it's what's available to the students. But now you get a chance to see behind the scenes. And I think you can see it is a pretty awesome program, very well-rounded, very complete, and certainly coming from my place of what I refer to as in the trenches training, because it's the real deal. This is what I've done for 38 years. I figured out all the tricks that we need to know. I have figured out all the ways we need to translate the conventional business world into ways that work for us. So I hope you'll check it out. Feel free to reach out to me and let me know what you think. Bye for now.